valve opens. That is the time your LV relaxes, that means your volume increase, the volume increases without entering any blood into the chamber, so that the pressure drops. That's the initial phase. Then you have the filling phase, that is divided into 3, that is you have the early rapid filling, then your diastasis and your atrial contractions. This is how it is happening. Okay. So you have the relaxation, so your mitral valve opens, then your LV getting filled up, then your again the contraction, then your aortic valve opens, then the systolic ejection. So the cycle goes on. So what we are going to concentrate is only this period, that is your the isovolumic relaxation time to the isovolumic contraction time. So that is the period which we are going to concentrate. So what two important things we are going to concentrate? One is what are the pressure changes happening during that period, then what is the volume changes happening during that period. So what is happening during the isovolumic relaxation period? Your LV relaxes, so the pressure drops. So there is a rapid decrease in the LV pressure. So once your LV pressures goes below your LA pressures, your mitral valve opens. So you get then because the blood comes into the LV pressure rises to the level of LA pressure. So there is an equalization of the pressures. So there is no further flow into the LV because the LV is filled. Then the atrium comes into play, it gives a kick. That's called the atrial contraction phase, which gives an additional 20 to 25% of your LV filling. That is where you get another rise in your pressures. So what is happening during the volume? The initial phase, the volume goes up, then the diastasis, no blood flow into the LV, then again there is a slight increase the volume into the LV during the atrial contraction. So this is what exactly happening. So there are certain factors which can determine whether the LV is filling normally during these 3 phases. One is during the isovolumetric phase, there is no filling of the LV, but if your LA pressure is high, there may be a premature opening of the mitral valve which can affect the isovolumic relaxation time and the phase. Then the early filling, mainly the driving pressures, that is your pressure getting between the LA and LV. Then what is the volume left over, that is what is the volume in the LA before the mitral valve opens, that is your preload, then your elastic recoil of your LV. The diastasis can be affected by your heart rate and the rhythm, so that when you lose this diastasis phase, you may have the improper filling of your LV. So the tachycardia and the prolonged PR interval can shorten the diastasis, because during tachycardia, this is the phase which is going to be lost. In the late diastole, it all depends on your atrial compliance. So your LA is not